Hi there, thank you for joining me. So, I want to do a video here today just to show off what I'm doing to possibly dump a script for this game called Sword World. Now, I just want to give you guys a little update too. I, of course, have not made a quarterly update for the third quarter of 2019. It's been kind of a bad time for me. My mom passed away, which was hard and sad, and I've been processing that, and you know, I'm going through stuff, and that's all right. But you know, when I was just looking at like, well, what have I done fan translation wise, like there wasn't a whole lot interesting to talk about. So I think come the end of this year, I can do a little bit of a yearly retrospective and sort of talk about the last 6 months, and I think that'll be a bit more interesting. But I wanted to share this with you guys because I thought you might also find this interesting. I was introduced to this game because of this blog here, Super Famicom RPGs. This is run by Kurisu, I believe, and they are playing through. They said the purpose of this blog is to record my playthrough of all Super Famicom RPGs that were not released in English in chronological order. They're skipping games they've already played, as well as some ports and remakes. So yeah, it's really interesting to keep up with this. I check it every a few months maybe. This Sword World, I guess it's based on a actual tabletop RPG that's popular in Japan. Obviously, was popular back in 1993. And yeah, it's very kind of Western fantasy styled here from T&E Soft, and it sounds cool. From what they said about it, they basically started doing a ranking system, and this ended up being one of the games that they ranked pretty highly out of their little experiment here. I think I might have run across it when I was looking at Aretha in the wrap-up. I think he'd decided to start ranking these, and I don't really know why B games are average. This is just one of those things. It's like, that's what C is for. C is average. Like, I mean, if you're talking about like A, B, C, D, F ranking, but I guess they're just doing an A through C ranking, so I kind of get that. It's more like a 3-star. So anyway, we can see here Sword World. They rated up right up with Breath of Fire and Dragon Quest V. So I just figured I'd take a look at it, and what I encountered was a single byte text encoding for all of the kana characters. So that's going to be pretty straightforward. We can see here, this is what I've decoded of the encoding so far. You got your numbers, a little bit of punctuation, alphabet, English, a little more punctuation. Then you have your hiragana, your small hiragana, your katakana, your small katakana, etc. And the trouble, though, was that you can't actually see this in a tile viewer or tile editor. I don't even need to bring it up. I searched through this. I mean, I think there was some stuff in here, but like wasn't all the kanji. So I'm having to do something similar to what I did with City Hunter. And we've already gone through what I did with City Hunter, so we don't need to go through all the particulars that way, but I thought you might be interested in like just sort of how I'm actually getting this kanji. So what we have here, of course, is just a copy paste of the City Hunter script, but I've swapped it out for Sword World. We're starting here at 5F07C. Now, I was using a YouTube video to help me out. YouTube videos are so useful when you're messing around with games like this. So this is some of the first text in the game where you run into just a character, one of the first characters you can talk to when you start the game. So we've got this Kono Odan no Machi wa, I think that's Machi. So I brought that up, and actually we could see here, if we go File, Open, so this is just the regular thing, and we go to that offset. Well, actually, what I did was I I did a relative search to get to this line. I think I might have searched on this katakana actually, which normally I don't end up getting to do. But anyway, because we've got, you know, some of this sorted out here, we can do a kana search. So we get to kono oran no wa. Yeah, so what we're missing is the kanji, machi. So, so that is, I believe, what do we got? Oran no. Okay, so it's 10 EC. So we can see we have some double byte encoding for the kanji, and it's a mix. There's some kanji that are encoded with the single bytes that are left over after we encode this other kana, and some punctuation here. You can see we started on some kanji here that goes all the way up to FF, and then we come in here with this 10. So what I realized was I saw this kanji was a 10 EC, and I was like, okay, so we've got the 10s basically. And then we get over here to some more kanji. Now this dai is part of this, it's E5, so it's part of this single byte encoded kanji. If we can see here, E5, we've got dai, so I was like, okay, but then it's whatever this is, dai, or it's dai something. So that kanji is 128D. So what I realized from that is that we should have the 10s, 11s, and 12s here are all set aside for some kanji encoding. And I think what that would be, because we're going to go through all these 8-bit values preceded by these 3 leading bytes. What it means is that each one of these is going to represent 256 kanji, you know, up to 256 kanji with these prefixes. So if you've got 256 plus 256 plus 256, you know, specifically that's whatever, around decimal 256 times 3, you know, we're talking about 768 kanji. And I was like, okay, that's probably not too bad. I mean, it's a lot of kanji, but you've got, what, 2,000 daily use kanji in Japanese language. It's a subset of that. And I wanted to just make a little correction, like when I was talking about kanji in my City Hunter video, you know, I said that it's not necessarily in an order, and that isn't really what I meant. What I meant more is that it could be in an order, like this is an order right here, you know, it starts here, and it goes through all this, and it goes through all this, and a lot of things, a lot of text encodings actually kind of follow this order, and this is probably the JIS order, but it might actually be kind of the order for all of these character sets. So like this one is, it's 3021, and this next character is 3022. All right, in EUC it's BOA1 and it's BOA2, so that's also these are like in order in these two encodings. Here it's 889F, and here it's 88AO, so that's also in order in ShiftJIS. And then in Unicode we've got a 4E9C and 5516. Okay, so the Unicode order does not have this character following this character, but in JIS, EUC, and ShiftJIS, this is the order. So so when I say kanji doesn't have an order, I don't really mean it doesn't have an order. There's a couple of orders here. There could be the JIS EUC order, there could be the Unicode order, but what I mean is that a lot of the kanji is going to be missing. So let's say that this, you know, this set is only 768 kanji. It could be more or less, but you know, that's a lot less than 2,000, which is probably what we have here. So that's why, again, we need to see this kanji. So so let's just take a quick look at our script. So I made the end offset. The end offset doesn't really matter, I don't think, in this case, but I did a little math to just sort of bring this up, so it's only the characters that we need in order to see one screen full of kanji. So what I did is I did a little insertion, and I just counted how many characters we're able to fit in here. Each line is 18 characters long, okay? So we can fit 3 rows of 18 characters. I believe that's 54 characters per screen. So we just, this is all this stuff just to open the ROM. And then, so basically, like what I did initially is force start at 0. And we do this for loop just like we did last time. But I put in a little conditional here. Actually, we can move this over. So I did this in order to format these lines for this box that we're dealing with. So what I said is, so this floor function, what I wanted to do was just have something that was like, okay, if this is evenly divisible by this number, whatever part of the loop we're on, okay, so it basically, once we get to loop 18, that's going to be evenly divisible by 18, and I want to know that, and I want to do something. And what I want to do is I just want to insert 0, 1, which is the break character at the end of the line. Okay, now originally I had this conditional actually down after we just add the value into our hex string. And the trouble with that, of course, is I believe that it was making a line that was 19 characters long, and then it was clipping the 19th character here. It was printing it, but we couldn't see it, and then it was continuing on. So I actually lost a character, at least one character, if not one per line. So once I realized that, I was like, uh-oh. So put this conditional up a little higher in this loop, so it'll insert our break. And what I have it doing here with 54 is basically saying, okay, if it's evenly divisible by 54, which means we've made it up to the end, go ahead and just add in what seems like appears at the end of the blocks, which is this 06OF, which is basically telling it to wait and then like end the block. So so I just put in this little conditional. It's just going to add in our formatting for this, and then we're just going to do basically what we did in the City Hunter script, but of course that one, the encoding was a little different. In this one, we're basically starting with this 1, 0 at the beginning, and then we're going through all of our values, and then we know that goes into not just 1, 0, but 1, 1, and 1, 2 at least. I mean, maybe there's some that are encoded up into 1, 3, and we'll have to find that out. But because we can see 54 here, I realized that 768 divided by 54, like maybe 14 screens worth of kanji. That's not too bad. So what I'm doing with these is I'm going ahead and just taking a screenshot. So once we get the screenshot, we go into our screenshots and we bring this up here. We edit it so that we're gonna just get the text that we want. Now, back in the day, I mean, I was hardcore about this stuff. So I bought, I forget what it was at the time, this OCR software, so that I could OCR Japanese text, and you could, fire up a separate program and then go ahead and have it do your OCR for you. But what we're going to do is utilize a feature of Google Docs. So let's save this, and we're going to go into our, I had to look up how to do this, of course. It's like, what is it, how to OCR documents for free in Google Drive, because it's like, none of this stuff is ever intuitive. So you go to upload files, all right? We're going to get our new screenshot that we made. It is uploading it, and there it is. So once we've uploaded it, now we're going to open it with Google Docs. Okay, so we've uploaded it to our drive. We're opening it up into Docs, and it's a ping, but Google's automatically going to attempt to OCR. So this makes things, a lot easier. And if we go over here, we're going to see how far we are on our table. The reason why I know that this doesn't start before 1, 0, because I did try 0F, is that 0F is also a control code here for our ending characters, and that would have been really confusing in the text encoding, and it was just really obvious that they didn't and wouldn't have used that for for one of the values. So I'm confident that this does start at 1, 0. So I basically just I just wrote these all out. I didn't write them out individually. I made a little macro in my text editor to write those out. Oops. So text encodings, I actually have to go into here and paste this in just to get the copy paste, basically the encoding on the clipboard, to kind of be something that I can easily paste into here. Now a couple of these are just wrong. I'm sure they were probably detected wrong from Google's OCR anyway. So here we are. So this first one, obviously it just didn't get it. So we'll skip down one, and we need to put in, what is this, Eki? Yeah. So then we've got this, I think it's N. And so you can see, again, when I'm talking order, these seem to be in order by, like, probably the on reading, like the Chinese pronunciation. And you just have to be really careful and check these, because this OCR is not always accurate. But it makes this so much easier than having to like look these all up, or just remember what all of the kanji are. I mean, I know a lot of these kanji, but not all of them. I mean, I'm not a genius, and my Japanese isn't perfect, and etc., etc. I'm trying to memorize some of this stuff and learn, but okay. So this is very clearly not the right kanji, and it's basically, so it's skipped. So it has this here, which is okay. It looks like, yeah, baggage. That looks like the right one, but this next one is it Uta? Yeah, so the next one is Uta, and then this one is like from manga. It's this guy, I think it's the same guy from Eiga, it's like a picture. Yeah. So there's that. Next up we have Mawaru, or Kai, I think, maybe, I don't remember. Yeah, I think it's Kai, because this next one is Kai also. And the OCR screwed that up. It screwed up the next one too. Did not screw up this one. Okay. So this one is another Kai, which is a shell. I think it's Kai. Unlike Kai Mono. Yeah, there it is. And then we have this Kai, which is like from Sekai. Which means world. And okay, and then this, which is probably also a Kai, which I'm trying to remember. That's open. Okay, yeah. So we put that in. That took us, I don't know how long, but whatever, a few minutes. So this is like tedious work, but it's not that bad. Like, the idea of doing this 14 times is pretty reasonable. Again, like, someone else maybe could, I don't know, be fancier about this, but I mean, you're gonna have to figure out and write out all these kanji one way or another, so this isn't a horrible way of doing this. And just so you can see how this would work, now that we're up to A2, we're just gonna take A2, we're gonna put that into our Sword World script. Alright, so this is our start A2. We're gonna save it. We're gonna run our script, which is right here, Sword World PHP. It says written. Then we're gonna go File, Load Game. This is our edited file. We're gonna load our game position, where I just saved like right at the beginning of the game, so you don't have to like make a file and name your character and stuff. And this is all the new stuff. So we're just gonna do the same thing. We're gonna make a screen cap. We're gonna have oh, and you know what? So I put in, what did I put in? A2, and we can see here I've got A1 as this this character. So I think I accidentally skipped a character when we were going through. So this is a really good check. I'm actually glad that I screwed that up, so you guys could see that you gotta pay attention. And you might have even noticed when we were going through what it was that I screwed up, and I don't know exactly. I think we were here, starting with like Eki. So let's go up, and we'll just have to double check. So here's our Eki. We got this, and it's also, so I can also just count. So here's this one: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is that at the end of that line, so that's fine. Our next line starts with kanji. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 is, wait, what? That doesn't even make any sense. Oh, it's the next one. Okay, so we missed one on that second line. So let's see what it is. We'll go back up to kanji. Where'd kanji go? There it is, way down here. Okay, so there's kanji. We've got this, which is like some mountain things. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, right here. Okay, so we missed Kaeru. Yep, that looks to be it. So what we're gonna have to do, and I could also use a macro for this, I probably should, but you know, whatever. So, you know, and this is just, it's just a thing to remember. It's like everyone makes mistakes. I make mistakes all the time. And the main thing is just to have ways of checking. You just double check your stuff. You know, I made a mistake when I put that conditional in sort of the wrong spot in my loop, so that it wrote 19 characters instead of 18 characters before it inserted a line break. I just caught it and fixed it, and that's okay. So now we're going to be starting at A3 instead of A2. And what we could have done, and we should have done, to check also, is to just put in A2 and make sure that it comes up as the character that we're expecting, like if we were doing it now, and then we could start at A3. But you know, I can tell that we fixed it now, so we can go and start at A3 instead of A2, and save that, and we'll do the same thing. Yeah, run our script. No, that's the single byte encoding. This is the double byte encoding. And run our game. Load our position. And there we go. So you can see that I've got a lot of more, you know, typing out kanji to do. But the exciting thing is that, you know, just little old me, not knowing, you know, fancy stuff about the processors on the Super Nintendo or anything like that, am probably going to have, you know, managed to decode the text encoding for this game, for, you know, this whole set of kanji and kana. And probably I will be able to dump a fully translatable script from that for this game. So I just think that's exciting personally. And yeah, you know, who knows, I might end up translating this, because you know, according to Kurisu, this sounds like a pretty interesting game, and I definitely, you know, at least would like to know a little bit more about it. So yeah, thought you guys might enjoy that, and I hope that you'll be looking forward to my year-end wrap-up of my translation projects. You know, hopefully we might have even maybe another translation project or two out by then. I highly doubt it, but it's possible there might be one. There might not be any more this year. It's hard to say, but anyway, hope you'll join me for that. Take care, guys.